Hi everyone, for this question it said the mathematics marks in an examination is distributed normally with mean 65, standard deviation 10. So first of all you need to write out what is your x represent here. So you're talking about the mathematics marks. So the distribution is given where the x is distributed normal with mean 65. And then in distribution, we need variance, but what we get here is standard deviation. So it becomes 10 square. Then for question A, if 40 is a passing mark, what is the probability that a student choose and random pass the exam? So in order for a student to pass the exam, means the probability finding the marks must be more than 40. More than equal 40. So you got equal or not doesn't matter because this is normal distribution. Normal distribution it will not concern about the equal sign. So start from the status of the axis come from normal distribution. So what we need to do next is change to z-score standard form. Then we draw out the standard normal graph so that we can find out from table to get answer. To change to z, it will be minus mean over standard deviation 10. Then we draw out the standard normal graph where value negative 2.5 is left hand side, more than that is this region. So as we know, our table only present the tail side value. So in order to get this area, we will take maximum 1 minus the left tail. So left tail will be equally read as the positive tail, which is 2.5. So we read from our statistic table 2.5. It gives you 0.00621. Then when we come to question 2, they said what is the probability at least 2 out of 10 students pass the examination? So they come up with finding the number of students. They are not longer finding the marks. So we can see 2 out of 10 means our sample here is 10. You want to pass the exam means you need to having the marks more than 40. The probability to pass the exam is 0.99379. So now we have new random variable, which is the number of students pass the exam. It is distributed binomial with 10 of them. Probability 0.99379. So we are going to find how many of them. It will be at least 2. At least means so why we are talking about people. At least means more than equal to. So based on this binomial distribution, if you want to read from table, we cannot because we don't have the table represent us the probability 0.99379. So we only can use formula. So what you need here is more than equal to. It will be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There were so many calculations that we need here. So why not we calculate it in opposite? Just take the maximum probability 1 minus the random variable which is not involved, y equals to 0 and y equals to 1. So from here we can use binomial formula, then C0 P power 0 Q. Q can be obtained by 1 minus P then minus 10C1, evaluate using your calculator, you will be almost getting 1. Then continue for question B. How many students obtain a grade A if the number of students that took the exam is 150? So question B means sample space is 150, and to get grade A, the marks for grade A is 80. So first of all, we need to calculate probability to get 80 marks. So when we talking about marks, means this distribution go back to normal. So what we need to do next is change to Z, draw the graph, find from table and answer. Change to Z, minus mean over standard deviation. And when we draw it, 1.5 more than that, so we can read this till value 1.5 straight away from table, 0.0668. So this one just probability getting A, which is 0.066A. To find the number of students that getting A, we use back the basic formula for probability. Probability of an event will be number of an event over number of sample space. So to get A, probability is 0.0668. We want to find out the number of students. Total in sample space here we have 150. So the number of A students we can obtain here is 10.02. So 10.02 we need to write off because we are talking about number of A, which is discrete. So we write off equals to 10 students. Then we go for question C. The examination board wished to pass 80% of the students that took exam. So what is the passing marks? Question C. Probability for the student to pass the exam. So they want 80% of them, 0.8. So the marks must be more than equal a value. So that is the marks that we want to find out. What is your border mark or what is your passing marks here? So when we're talking about marks, means this distribution bring us back to the original X is distributed normal. So what we need to do is change to standard form. Then we draw out and read from table to get answer. So to change to Z-score, and we'll need to minus mean over standard deviation. So let's say I let this unknown Z-score to be a value A. For us, easier to carry out the writing. So we need to guess what is the Z-score which is missing here. So we get it is at the left hand side more than that 0.8. So we can see the region bounded here is more than half. The value also more than 0.5 means this value of A will be at negative side. So if you put at right hand side, so this region is too small but the reading is too big, which is more than half already, so it will be not logic anymore. So from here we can determine our A as at left hand side, our A value will be negative. So Next one, how we read from table for this situation of the area. So 1 minus the left tail of A means we read it as positive tail, supposed to get this region as 0.8. So the tail side only represents 0.2. Then we can read from our statistic table 0.2. The z-score represent here 8416. So A is supposed to be negative because A is 4 on left hand side. So after we getting the A, what we need to do is we substitute back. Just now A, I represent it as M minus 65 over 10. Then we simplify. What is your mark? So we get 56.58. Do we need to round off? Answer is no need, because this M is represented by marks. Marks is start from the normal distribution just now. So normal distribution, we can accept decimal, random, variable. Then we see what is important here. Firstly, when we doing the distribution, we change it to standard form. This is important concept. Then how we read out from the table to get final answer. Then number 2, state out the distribution first. This is binomial distribution because question A1 and A2, they are different. So distribution change, we need to write out. Then to solve the questions. So here we have this one mark to get to the final answer. Then when we come to question B, so same concept where we want to see how you get your z-score. Then you will read from the table, then multiply back to the sample space to get 10 students here. Lastly, for the part C, firstly, identify the symbol mathematics from the questions, then start to change it to z-score or identify it from table. So read it the value of A to get final answer.